to learn how to hold them down. They're getting up and you're mat returning them. Plenty of low amplitude takedowns that already have connection. Then you could be getting 10, 15 takedowns around, all from these different angles, all against people who are increasing their balance. And so you're going to get a lot more information on how to actually put someone back in the deck again. From that, all I then need to teach you is hand fighting, in that breaking down this idea of a takedown. So instead of learning it front to back, as in here's a snap down, a shot, and a double leg, doing it backwards. So here's a bunch of ways to feel how you're going to mat return someone once you have connection to them from billions of different angles. Then all you need to do is beat their hands. Because then as soon as you make connection to them, you already have that experience in putting them back on the floor again. And so then the question is, when someone says, like, oh, I suck at takedowns, do you suck at actually the art of taking someone down, which is essentially holding their legs together and pushing them on the floor? Or do you suck at engaging in the first place and hand fighting? Because then we can isolate those things out. And that's what makes Elements quite useful as a training tool, is that we can then look at different sections that might have been put together previously and go, right, what's the actual problem? Like if it's the actual takedown section, right, we can isolate that out, we can actually work on it. Or is it the hand fighting section? And that's what we're going to cover in this part, is like, how do we look at base level hand fighting to make someone more useful even from day one, that they can then open up spaces on the other person and try and get those takedowns. So the first part then, learning how to hand fight, is we actually need to understand what the other person wants. So we understand posture and how we're going to get taken down in the first place. Usually in grappling, we start power hand forwards, which can be a bit alien if you're coming from striking arts. Is that usually in like Muay Thai, boxing, etc., it's usually your dominant hand at the back for like crosses, etc., or like power kicks, and your weaker arm at the front. Yeah, as soon as you go into more grappling, like judo and wrestling, it's usually the other way around, that we have our power hand forwards and our weak hand at the back. And every takedown that the person is going to want is going to be happening on our front side. So that's the kind of side I need to be aware of, that I don't want him to gain access to behind my legs, my armpits. I don't want him behind my head either. So if I'm starting leaning forwards here, it's going to make it much easier for him to stack me down, go for my neck, etc. And I don't want to be leaning too far on my front arm, because that's going to expose all this. And you can see that, as a kind of base level drill for this section, is just have people entering in on the front side. So if you see someone put their head down, then they get a snap down, they control the back of the neck here. And if you see someone opening up the front side here, they can just go underneath the arm, and they're going to be looking for body locks, legs, etc. So I want to be able to keep that front side down. And you can feel that as soon as you start fixing your posture, so keeping my shoulder blades back and down and my spine strong, keeping my right side forwards, because that's going to be my power side. I don't want to be walking too much and changing what the front leg is. And keeping that front arm down and feeling my distance off my back arm. Because if he tries to go looking for my back arm here, it's too far. Like if I don't see him coming in that time, like I'm asleep. But if he tries to do takedowns on my front side, so if he wants to go for single legs, double legs, like it's a lot harder for him. He hits a bit of a brick wall. And you'll be able to feel that with your partners, is that you have them do one where they have access to the front side and they get their hold onto the leg, and they can then go more into element 2 that we just talked about. And then do it with the door closed and have them go for those same kind of grips. So have them try and go for the leg, etc. And that can create that block and start to push him off. And so first thing you need to understand then is posture, and that's going to be the first drill out of this one, is having the front door open and closed. If you want to then add more complexity and intensity to the drill, is then doing a bit of just movement with your partner and then opening up the door and creating opportunities for them to go hunting. So we could be playing away, I then go up, he then has opportunity, and then he gets that kind of reaction of like, oh, the door's open, I can go straight in. But that'd be the first level drill for trying to get just beginners or someone who's more takedown averse, understanding what they're actually looking for in the first place. We also have to talk about the health implications of these. Again, like, so why I'm doing it differently and now why I'm not going head forwards into this exchange. So with wrestling, it makes more sense maybe going head forwards, because no one's going to grab hold of your neck and jump backwards with it. But in jiu-jitsu, we can grab someone by the neck and we can jump backwards into guillotines, etc. So I don't want to go head forwards and have that chance. I don't have a posture that's all the way out, because now if he does go like this, again, what we talked about earlier, it's out of my control if he suddenly starts to do that. So I want to keep my head backwards. I want to keep my spine strong. If that makes me more vulnerable to certain things, that's why I have to be aware of this down block, try and protect my legs, but at least I'm not putting my head in stupid places. The other thing I need to be aware of is jumping guard. So again, going back to one of the risks assessment we talked about earlier, is that if he throws his weight towards my legs, he's lost control, he's airborne, and he could not jump high enough. Again, I'm accepting 100 kilos, 230 pounds or whatever, 220 pounds onto my body, that I might not have a strong base at this point. He blows out my legs, something horrible can happen, or I'm just going to land, unfortunately. That's why talking about elements 2 is important. This idea of doing low amplitude, safer takedowns is that we can still be effective, but also we're running less chance of injury. Same with scissor leg takedowns. Do they work? Yeah, sure. Most things work. But chance of injury, pretty horrific. So again, if my hand fighting is poor, like same with like down block, etc. If I'm not hand fighting incorrectly, and he just suddenly comes flying in for jumping guard.
Do you want me to jump?
Yeah, just oh god, yeah. All of a sudden, like that's terrifying. I don't want to have my knees blown out. Same as I don't want him to do it on camera. If he did a scissor takedown, like that can be pretty scary, and that's going to be if you have suddenly students who are doing that because they don't know better during this level of training, the chance of injury is going to be pretty hard. So when you're doing this, when you explain to other people, when you do the drill yourself, try and do less high